UConn main campus, but Stowe campus, Stanford campus right here. So here's the UConn main campus within 100 miles radius. And what you have seen or what you have heard about hydrogen and fuel cell companies are within 100 miles radius. And some of them nearby here. We talk about the neo hydrogen, fuel cell energy in Denver. We've been collaborating for a number of years. Raytheon, Pratt & Whitney is by us, is in East Hartford, and many others, right? Those are companies in Connecticut, but there are more in Boston area, in Massachusetts. You probably heard about Envision Energy, which we are collaborating, try to raise the endowment from Envision Energy, Plug Power, Gina, we have been working together for a number of years. So UConn is indeed a dynamic hub. Now I think you really you can think about it. What UConn has been doing over the years, UConn has committed to sustainability, to a better environment. Number of projects coming from the buildings, light projects, and other energy conservation major projects. So what? Now you see, in terms of saving electricity, and we saved annually 46 million kilowatt hour electricity. That's electricity saving. Operation cost is also about $4 million per year saving. But this is all good. But more importantly is how much greenhouse gas emission we reduce, right? About total 40,000 metric tons. And when I did this, we graduated about 80,000 students over about a decade. So on average, we at UConn reduced 0.5 tons per student graduate over the years. Right? This is all good. Renewable electricity generation, water saving. Those are data. Those are computer data. Those are things UConn has done. And last year, when DOE, Department of Energy Secretary Granholm visited UConn, and he was excited. He said, "You mean UConn, are in the middle of history being made." That's a very strong statement. That's what UConn has been doing, and UConn is doing now. So what's the future? From now to next few years, where are we? Where are we going to be, right? Talking about renewable settings, talking about a sustainability. Number one, in my mind right now, we are trying to do is to build a sustainable aviation. And that's what DOE RPI electric aviation project is coming. Hopefully this week or next week, you will hear the announcement. I'm the PI of that, $7.8 million for 4 years. That's electric aviation. We also, I'm also PI of a project on carbon management. Those are example of projects. And more importantly, you know hydrogen hub. Hydrogen, not only we have been doing, we are working towards the multiple agencies, industries, collaborating with industries on hydrogen. Working with Pratt & Whitney to build the combustion test center, as well as build the Center for Sustainable Aviation. So this is one of the areas we plan to address, or we are addressing now in the next few years, is sustainable aviation. And that's a highlight coming from Department of Energy. Department of Energy chose 2 projects to highlight, and one of them was mine. At that time, I was still at the University of Louisiana, and I joined here last month, August 26th. And the other projects are coming from before. And that project is on carbon management. And let me elaborate a little more with you what it is. It is when the industry flue gas or industry exhaust coming out of air, right? Typically it has large amount of CO2 concentration. Large amount meaning from about 1% to 20%. We need to capture that. We need to concentrate CO2, and that's what the first reactor is about. So we are not only doing lab research, we are doing modular reactor development, so that we can translate. What we plan to do is to use UConn as a vehicle that you translate academic research to industry. So this modular reactor, you can stack it together to build a larger plant. And that first modular reactor is to capture CO2. So you can concentrate, capture CO2 coming from industrial exhaustion, and then produce high concentration of CO2, and going into the last modular is to convert CO2 to a value-added chemical called ethylene. Ethylene is widely used. At this moment, we make 1 ton of ethylene, we generated 1.5 tons of CO2. We not only not generating CO2, we are using CO2 to make ethylene. That's why DOE chose our project. We funded about a few hundred projects. It's very rare to choose one of 2 projects to hire, right? And those are technical. If I start to do technical slide, then it would be about 50 minutes. You can't be soon. Do you guys want to hear about technical? Okay,
we're good.
So
I'm the only one that would like to hear that.
We'll talk after.
He's a smart kid. He tries to see how do I explain technical to a general audience, and that's what I'm being built. So this is the first part is carbon management, CO2. Next one is really important. In my opinion, that's where we are receiving an investment too. It is methane management. Methane management is so critical. How critical is so critical? Methane contributes about 1/4 of greenhouse gas effect. Methane is so potent and is so more serious than CO2. How much is more? 86 times more serious than carbon dioxide. And more importantly, now you see y-axis is the billion cubic feet, and that's the flare or vented. And that flare, some of you have seen it. If you have not seen it, if you go to Dakota, Texas, or Louisiana, you will see that. And how much we flare? About 500 billion cubic feet. That's too large of a number. When you talk about billion, not billion is too much. If we convert 20% of this methane to methanol, it covers the whole global methanol production. That's how much methane we are emitting. But methane is so potent, methane is so pollution, much more pollution than CO2. That's why we need to do that. And what we do is methane plus water to form methanol and hydrogen. So we not only not letting methane go into the air, not letting methane going through flare process, we make methanol and hydrogen. So through module reactors. That's what one of the highlighted projects, and we try to share with you, right? So next question would be really, what's a kind of impact that we might create? So I'm thinking what we are doing, and that can last the next, hopefully can last the next 50, 100 years. Because in 50 years, 100 years, nobody will read my papers, you understand? And in 100 years, nobody even remember my name probably, okay? So what I'm hoping to do, or what I'm planning to do, is to collectively, we make something happen. For instance, at UConn, can we make a school of sustainability or college of sustainability and lead the sustainability initiative in the nation, right? That's what I'm hoping to do. So in terms of creating an impact, there are 2 ways, right? You all know. And I don't want to teach fishing, woman fishing, men to fish, right? And one is adding value. We can always add value to something. You guys call it our will, not only you, I call it you. So it's icing on the cake. It's good, adding value is good. But equally important, or sometimes more important, is creating value. Now it's really time to create the value at UConn or in other places, that you build something that will last, the impact will last for a long time. Probably 50 years, probably 100 years. That's what we plan to do, is to create a sustainable ecosystem in Connecticut, in a place by the river. So 10 clusters will be built in 2 phases. The first, those are 6 clusters. UConn already has expertise. We are already doing that. In terms of first one I mentioned to you, sustainable aviation, sustainable fuels. Because we are living in a society, we will rely on fuels. We will not be able to sustain without fuels. Sustainable fuel is actually critical. Sustainable power and energy, we talk about fuel cells, we talk about PV cells, and grid. And so on and so forth. I can elaborate more. Those are first phase, 6 clusters, and then sustainable health, sustainable building. That's the area I am going to discuss with you. It is critical, sustainable building and agriculture. I think this topic was mentioned a moment ago, and education too. So this is what we are in the process to acquire gas turbine, which can use hydrogen. So this gas turbine is using natural gas, but can be balanced by hydrogen. Then we have opportunity to integrate our turbine to carbon capture and utilization, right? And we will be able to reach carbon neutrality by 2030. That's UConn's vision. And those 3 turbines are going to be on campus in the very near future, in a year or 2, to power the whole campus. So there's 6 megawatt electricity production. Okay. Reducing carbon emission and ability to integrate with carbon capture and utilization. Over 270 faculty members and centers, many centers, 11 centers with a large amount of funding in clean energy, in renewable settings, and we always have positions open, right? For professors, for students, for us to work with you guys, right? But the last one is something I'm doing right now at this moment. It is, can we reach carbon neutrality even earlier than 2030? And the question would be, if we can, what are we going to do? That's not true. Sorry. So we have gas turbine, we can capture CO2. We can use our captured CO2 to make a green complement. And it's really good business. Trust me, it's going to grow. And this is the area I think we can do at UConn. This is the area we are looking for partners. So at this moment, what I'm going to do, I'm going to close. Matt is so nice to me. Matt doesn't even show up to stop me. But I'm going to stop myself. I'm not going to introduce myself. I have backups. You guys know I like to do acronyms. So you want to be sustainable at any places. We have to work together. That's what I'm here for. And this is an ice-breaking journey. I'm sure now you probably will, already break your brain, change your brain structure, if you remember me. And you have my email address, you know me. Please reach out and let's see, open the channel to communicate. Thank you very much.
Questions? Yeah.
I guess I'll just start that.
I'll pass it around for you.
Thank you for that speech. Just a quick question for you on the turbines that we use on campus. What's the efficiency of them compared to traditional turbines?
Great question. So this is the Caterpillar Solar. So it is the advanced gas turbine. They not only better than the state of the art, but also, as I mentioned to you, it can incorporate hydrogen to make it even more efficient. So the point is this: it produces rather high purity CO2, so that we can capture. So think about the exhaustion. Exhaustion, there are 2 major species: CO2 and water. Right? And then it gives us the opportunity to separate water from CO2. We have high purity CO2, we have hot water. So, and then you think about it's so co-generation. So generation power, generation heat. This is a great.
And with that byproduct, does that impact the life cycle of the turbine? Does it reduce it, or is the life cycle?
So that's where the exhaustion is coming to play a role. So as long as you design a subsequent device or system that do not feed the turbine life is fine.
Is UConn doing any research on alternate power generation technologies to be involved in water or anything like that?
So UConn does have a groups in water and in waste to energy or clean water production. And if you would like to know specific areas, I can certainly connect you with our faculty or with our teams. But we have a large 270 faculty members working in a broad area. Okay. So highly likely, I would say yes, but I don't have a definite.
private industry collaborate with University of Connecticut on those focus clusters?
Great question. Really great question. And during my short period of time, meaning for 3.5 weeks, and I have met with a number of departments on campus. One of them is called IPB, Innovation Partnership Building. And that partnership, innovation partnership, is to bring small business on campus or bring our technology to small business. So it acts as the conduit to connect university and business. Now, when I say business, I mean business of all sizes. So we work with creativity, we work with small business, and there are a large amount of small business interact with us. We can do multiple different kind of services, right? We can go through SBIR, we can do evaluation, or we can even make a joint venture. So there are a number of opportunities. And that's what UConn, and I was talking with Radenka just a moment ago. Radenka literally said, hey, in order to reach carbon neutrality, we have to work with industry. We have to work with business. We have to work with both. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you.
This side?
I've got a question.
I give a microphone back to you, Matt.
Xiao-Dong, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for that. So you covered the broad strokes of it. That's great. The audience knows how to find out what you guys are working on. I would be happy to help connect anybody who's interested in connecting with these UConn issues and renewables. There's a number of things going on. I noticed some people in transit that are still coming. But yeah, I'll be happy. If anybody has any interest in connecting, more than happy to make that happen. Be a conduit for that. And Xiao-Dong, thank you again so much.
Thank you very much. Woo!
We got to be extra excited for our fellow UConn colleagues. Thank you.
I feel the energy walking into the room right now.
Yeah, let's, what I do want to do is tell these guys to come inside, because I think we've talked a lot about wanting to invest in ventures. We're about to give you ventures, and so don't sit outside during this part. Hey guys, you guys want to come inside? You're going to love these businesses we're presenting. You've talked a lot about financing some, wanting to invest in some. They're from least developed markets. 3 of our founders aren't even born in the U.S. You're going to love this. Awesome. Like, come sit down. Come sit down, come sit down. The cocktail party hasn't started yet. Right? No, seriously, don't worry. You're going to love this. All right? Come sit down. That's not a seat. Come sit down. Come sit down. Come sit down. I see you. Come sit down. You've stood up. We had the break. This is going to be fun. Again.
Boss, do I have to sit down or can I stand?
You got to sit down.
I'll sit down.
You got to sit down. Like I said, you know, what's important here, again, is, and I think this is the thesis you're going to see, okay? We've had finance people talk, and you're important. You're very important. We're all looking for your money. Let's be honest, we are, right? Technology is important, okay? Technology is super important. But there's this space in between. Okay, here's the thing. Who had better technology, Edison or Tesla? Tesla. Tesla. All right, now techies don't answer. Whose technology rose to the top? It's right, Edison. Okay? Because here's the thing, and economists won't know this because what economists do is they assume away society, culture, power structures, social net. You should have clean mathematical models. But here's the thing. That's why they're always wrong, because you can't assume away power structures. You can't assume away culture and norms and social networks. Okay? Edison rose to the top because he was a better politician. He leveraged power. He pushed Tesla out of the market. in non-market strategy ways. That's the reality of the world. Okay? It's not enough that there are people with money to invest, because you guys have limited social networks. You have network closure. And so you can't believe for 1 second that you guys are always exposed to the best ideas. You're not. Sorry to break it to you. I'm an organizational psychologist. I got a PhD at Cornell. You're not exposed to the best ideas automatically. Okay? And here's the thing. I'm sorry to break it to the technologists in the room. Doesn't matter that it's the best technology. It's not going to make it work. That space in between is where you build the business. None of you probably know their names. We all love the story of when Edison discovered the light bulb. Does anyone know what happened post-Eureka? Do any of you know the names of the people who built the organization, went through the sweat and tears to figure out the manufacturing process, build the factories, create the supply chain, and then the sales distribution channels, working with the politicians to pass regulatory laws, get buildings outfitted to put light bulbs in? Do any of you know their names? You probably don't. Would it have been a business without them? Absolutely not. Okay? This is the thesis of Daigle Labs. Kyle Daigle is the COO of GitHub. Not Grubhub, please. Not Grubhub. GitHub. We get that a lot. Okay? It's GitHub.